Hey guys, this is Richie, and today we're bringing you the history of eccomics. This is the new Taschen, the Big Monster book. There's the spine on it. Great cover. Dust jacket. Al Williamson. It's from a classic cover. Alright, let's see. Ooh, Vault of Horror. Alright, these you could get on eBay. I think I paid $200 for this. Ooh, better be careful before I rip this up. Come on. Alright. It's a monster. It's hard to handle. It's hard to handle with one hand, that's for damn sure. But there's the cover. Let's get rid of the dust jacket so we don't tear that up. Alright. Nice. Very nice. Oof. There's not really much I could say. What am I really going to say to this? It's just all classic, great EC stuff. Shows a lot of the cover. Probably all the covers. I think there's a section in here, because I haven't read it yet. There it goes. Right from the start, man. Just like all these books. Now, I have all three of these. I have the DC, I have the Marvel. Now I have the EC. I believe there's a Frazetta. They're just showing you some DC stuff. It started off, well, one of the earlier ones was pictures, stories from the Bible. These are hard to find, man. Picture stories from science. Understanding air and water. Wow, these are old. These are old covers, man. Whoever's got these is sitting on some money. Moon Girl and the Prince. Now, I'm not going to show you all of them. Here's a Moon Girl cover. Great stuff. Oh, look at this pencil. These are pencils. Peggy. Going steady with Peggy. Sounds like a porno. Now, here we go into Crime Patrol. The Slaughter Syndicate. Now we're getting Johnny Craig. We're getting a little rougher. Some Western stuff. It's becoming more violent. Al Feldstein. Great. Just classic stuff. Look at this. I don't know. I just find this so much more appealing than the stuff that you see nowadays. Madman. There's a Johnny Craig. The stuff you see nowadays, it's technically beautiful. It's, these great artists cramming all this detail as much as they can into a page, and it's so hard to look at it and say, what's going on here? Where something like this, look how clean. Look at that. Look how clean that is and just perfect. Oh, Johnny Craig. Now, the new trend, 50 to 54. Here's the money shots. Crypt of Terror, Vault of Horror. Look at that guy coming out of the wishing well. This is the stuff I love, man. I tell you, if you're a horror fan, if you're an EC fan, if you're a comic book fan, get this book. Graham Ingles, beautiful work. Look at that. Look at that. Rats have sharp teeth. The Doctor of Horror. They were selling this to 10-year-olds, man. Look at this. That's beautiful, man. Look at that. Can you imagine owning one of these? Just to have it hanging on my wall, man. There they are. There's Gaines, and who's that, Feldstein? Feldstein. And then it just shows you a lot of sequential art. You know, I don't want to look at the skulls and the eyeballs. The Thing in the Jar. Great stuff, man. Pick this up. Get this book. Spend the 2 beans. I'd say just get it, man. I just went for it. I was like, it's expensive, but there's only 5,000 of them printed, and they're numbered. Child of Tomorrow. They're all numbered. Oh, look at this. Beautiful, man. These, they're expensive, but you can get a Gaines file copy for like $1,200, $1,500. Then you could get a beautiful war book, you know, high grade 9.2s, 9.4s for, you know, you're going to spend, but if you save your money, it's feasible, you know. I really got to start, you know, digging in, man, and just adding more quality to the collection. I stopped thinking about quantity a long time ago because, you know, you know how it is, man. You want to buy as many books. You love having those boxes, 30, you know, long boxes filled. But for me, I'm concentrating on high grade. If you were to look through my collection, I could honestly say everything there is 9s and up. I have a Golden Age 1953 book that's an 8.5. I believe that's the lowest I got. And I'm not saying that like as, oh, look at me, I do that on purpose. Costs me more money, so I have to buy less because I don't have enough room. You know what I'm saying? So I never want anyone to think, oh, he's an elitist. No. I enjoy the higher grade stuff. It's so expensive that it forces me to keep my collection extremely small. Oh, look at that. Look at that look on his face, man. Like, he's hurting. You could tell he's hurting. It's beautiful, beautiful work. Get this. Oh, look at this. I want this so bad, man. Could I ever afford this in a 9.0? Doubtful. But for something like this, I'd like an 8.0. I would go for an 8.0. You know, I would spend $1,500, $2,000. I've seen this for sale numerous times on eBay. This Frontline Combat number 10. Just these you could get, man. They're not, you know, put in some extra work, you know, some overtime. Do what you gotta do. You can do it, man. Oh, and then we go into the shock suspense stories. These are great covers. These are just beautiful. He's caught in the bear trap. The hunter's caught in the trap. Probably his own. Is that Wallywood? Look at that, man. Oh, just beautiful. Into the Haunt of Fear. Look at that. That's a witch. That's a witch. Classic cover, man. Super expensive book. Shock Suspense Story 6. Super expensive. Hanging cover, another great cover. Shock Suspense Stories 5. You know, there's one I gotta find. And I'm telling you, years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago, I saw one of these. 5 years ago, I saw this on eBay, like a 9.2 for cheap, under $1,000. Not cheap, but you ain't finding that no more for that price. Classic story. Here's a classic story. Great. Feldstein. Just a lot of revenge tales. And look at that, man. There's the one. There it is. I need it, but I will own this book. Man, even if I have to get a 5.5 or a 6.0, me being a heroin addict who doesn't use anymore, I know exactly what this was here, man. I know that feeling right there, man. I've been right where this guy is. I know that feeling, and that's why I need to have this book. It sounds morbid. Jock Suspense Story 12, man. Heroin. The evils of heroin. That's reality right there, man. Never, ever, ever use heroin. It'll take you down a road that a lot of people don't come back from. Thank God I'm still alive to talk about it. And it's embarrassing. But that was me 10 years ago. Sheesh. Scary stuff. But it hits home, man. That's what makes this hobby great. Stuff like this. I need this book. But I can't afford it right now. Someday. Squeeze play. Look at this guy throwing his girl off the roller coaster. That's one way to do it. The hanging covers. Just great covers, man. EC, the kings of horror. That's and suspense and just crime. They're just, man. Can you imagine if the Comics Court Authority didn't come to fruition? What the work these guys would have done, man. Oof. Here's another one. Oh, look at this beauty. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that face, man. What does that tell you? This maniac. With a straight razor, Johnny Craig. Look at that. Beautiful stuff, man. Beautiful. Just beautiful work from the masters, man. These were the masters. Very clean. It reads very well. Suicide cover. Someone had pointed this out, and I had never noticed it neither. The guy in the mirror. Look. How distraught was he? Johnny Craig. Portraying it perfectly. Ooh, there's one on eBay in 8.5 right now, selling for a little over $1,000, I believe. The one they have for sale is a beautiful book, but it's got like a pencil mark, man, and that drives me nuts. Look at this guy. How about your 10-year-old buying this off the rack? Crime Suspense 24. All right, we got to move along. Mad Magazine, we all know about that. Here's a story. In 1979, 78, 1980, garage sales were a big thing, and my mother used to go and buy boxes of comic books and Mad magazines and comic book magazines and the comic book paperbacks. I literally had a house full of this stuff. My parents supported my comic book habit as a child and didn't think twice about it. And I'll never forget my father telling my mother had brought home Mad, and it was like issue 1 through whatever. This is 1980. She got it at a garage sale. And I'll never forget my father saying, "Listen, kid, don't even open those books. Take that box, put it in a closet, and leave it there." He knew, even back then, that these would be worth money. And I proceeded to read them till they were shredded. I mean, I tore them to shreds. They disappeared over the years. But I had them in my hands. She picked them up at a garage sale. Mad Magazine, all the early ones. And the old man knew. But his son decided not to listen, like I've done so many times over the years. I don't know how this video's coming out. I'm trying to rush it and get as much as I can in, but... Bat Boy and Reuben. How about that? The Million Year Picnic. Here we go. Weird Fantasy. There's the cover. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Beautiful work. Look at that. The Witch's Cauldron. Here's, this must be the Trials in front of Congress? Is this when this started? Oh, look at that. Jack Kamen. Jacko. Graham Ingalls. Wow. Al Williamson. Look at this. This is cool. This is what makes these books so great. Is this stuff right here that you would not normally see. Very cool. Weird science, fantasy, 128 pages. Here you go. Here's a cool cover. Look at that. Feldstein again. He did great science fiction work. Look at that. Look at the terror she's feeling. Here they all are. There's been quite a few of these. Like where they're all gathered together. Probably Maria Severin doing that type of stuff. Look at that. Knocking at death's door. A lot of violence, man. Look at that. His head getting crushed. Just beautiful work, man. Look at that. What is that? I don't know if it's zipper tone or gray wash. I'm not an artist, so I can't tell you what this stuff is, but I do know it's amazing. Ooh, look at this splash. Or would it be a cover? I don't know. But look at that guy. He's having some dinner. Just beautiful work, man. Right down to that. Oh, pencils. Well, layouts, I guess. Rough layouts. But look at that. Even just to own that. Here we go into the horror. Here's what was released. Here's what the original was supposed to be. I guess it was a little too rough even for them. Whew, another axe murderer. That's a cover to Tales of Crypt. Number 38. Look at him. Jack Davis. You don't even have to look. You could tell. That's what made them so great. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these guys, you didn't need to look for a name. You knew. When you saw a Jack Davis cover, you knew. Very distinctive. Now, not that there's anything wrong. The artists today are great. They're very talented. Super talented. But there's just something about these old timers. The detail, just in their simplicity. It's hard for me to explain. I'm not an artist. I can't really tell you. But man, look. Look at this guy. Here's a good smoking ad. Look at the smoke coming out of his cheek. Alfred E. Newman, yeah. Yeah, and here's the comics code ruining everything. Ooh, here you go, the master. We all know who this is. Do I have to even say it? Do I? Look at that. Look at the hair. Look at that. That's just amazing. Oof. There's the color. Look at the helmet and the hair. Helmet. Changed. How do you change a Frazetta? You know, who came in there and said, well, he didn't do this right. You gotta have balls to do that. Now, these. Good Lord, it's alive. Man, what a time to be buying comics back then. These are some type of, not oh, that's right, they show a lot of later paintings by the greats, by Graham Ingalls and a lot of the guys. There you go. Arnold. Johnny Craig. That's Johnny Craig. Wow. Look at that. Great painter. Look at that. Look at that. Listen to me. I sound like a little gushing schoolgirl. I think my camera's about to run out, so this is going to have to be a two-parter. Remember these fold-ins from Mad Magazine? Wow. Part 5. This is the cover gallery. Complete covers from 42 to 56. Starting with stories from the Bible. I'd love to own one of these in high grade. Look at these. Noah. Stories from the Bible. Wow. I think we're getting ready to end in 33 seconds. Oh, man. It's coming. 10 seconds. Saddle Justice. Wow. Saddle Romances. The Gunfighter, number 11.